Hey guys, Nas here with the new Pax Day video. Welcome to 1.0, right? So, my first video here, we're going to be talking about leveling carpentry. Um, Now, I will say that there's two ways to do things, and one of them, uh, if you're ready to like, I want to just get stuff built and that sort of stuff, and that kind of falls into this way of working. Um, the other way is to take your time and I wouldn't recommend this for new players or players that have been away from the game for a long time, because I feel like you're going to miss some stuff if you don't take your time and kind of get used to the way the crafting system works and stuff. So, um, but if you're ready to start building, you want to get to those half timber builds or limestone and granite builds and stuff. Maybe you got people feeding you materials. This is the way to quickly level carpentry and get it done kind of efficiently. So 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 yeah, when you first pop into the game, you're gonna pop in up there at the Petra. As soon as you walk off the plot, you're going to want to start grabbing sticks, sapwood sticks, and nice chunks. There'll be little chunks of rock around the ground and stuff. Grab uh, whatever's around, whatever you can get your grab your little paws on, get it all together, and as soon as you can, you're going to hit tab, and you're going to go to your little hammer symbol here. This is your uh, quick crafting kind of thing, and you're going to want to make your construction hammer, the nice stone axe, skinning knife, and your stone pickaxe. And then, if you want to keep yourself alive for a little bit, a pointy stick and a wooden shield. And you can see that that one takes 6, that one takes 2, 1 and 2, 3 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 1. Okay, so you get all that made, get them down here and start using them, and um then you're off to the races, right? So your first thing you're going to want to be doing is picking up nice and sapwood wherever you can find it. um the nice, like I said, you can find those in little chunks on the ground, but there are bigger nodes that you can actually mine. They're kind of a light gray. A lot of times they have like a white streak in them as well, and those will produce nice. They'll produce sand and oftentimes like some minerals like garnets, maybe obsidian, maybe some of the gems that you need for jewel crafting and stuff. So you can keep that if you're planning on doing those things later. But otherwise, you can toss them and pick them up later. Those things are pretty easy to get early on. So really, what we want to be focusing on is getting the limestone, or not the limestone, the gneiss and the sapwood. Um, so sapwood, like I said, you can find twigs on the ground, and of course there's none here. But you can use your stone axe to get these saplings, and these will give you like 8 to 10 uh, sapwood per one. And as you're cutting those down, you'll be leveling your wood cutting skills and stuff, which is pretty important as well, because that's going to open up more materials. You can see that the saplings, a lot of people complain about the saplings and not being enough. They're kind of in these open areas like this around the woods, and that's where you're going to find them. You'll find some in the woods, but usually more open areas are where you're going to find those and stuff. So once you have some down, if you have your own plot, you're going to drop a wood chopping block, a log workbench, and the the basic carpenter's workbench. So once you have, let me grab my crafting hammer real quick. I think I'm in the wrong box. There's a crafting workbench. Okay, so you're gonna have your construction hammer, right? So you're gonna hit 5, and you'll go to building. If you're going to drop a plot, you'll go to plots, right? But for building, you're going to want to go to this middle tab, which is crafting stuff. So you'll drop your wood chopping block. You see you need 10 sapwood there. The log workbench. So you're going to make, once you get this down, the first thing you're going to want to do is planks and wood beams. You're going to make a couple stacks of those and a couple stacks of those, and that will get you like probably carpentry like 3, 4, and maybe 5, depending on how many of those you make. So once you have those down, then you're going to want to drop, like I said, you're going to want to drop the log workbench and the basic carpenter's table, and you can see that wood beams and planks and wood beams and planks. So get those down first, right? And then once you're like 4 or 5, you can make, if you need a few more things to get you up into the 5 and 6 range, you can go to the carpenter's table and you can make simple chests with 8 planks. If you're a founder, you can make these griffin chests. They use the same amount of materials. They use eight planks. I can count. The griffin chests have more slots. They'll hold 35 stacks of stuff, where the basic only holds like 28, I believe. Excuse me. So you can put more materials into them. So you're going to be wanting to save the stuff that you're making off of here eventually, because you'll wind up using it later down the road. So save your extra planks, save your extra beams and stuff. You'll use those to make some of these other tables and stuff. And those other tables can be made at the log workbench. You're going to like make these tools, like the basic cooking tool, the leather working tool, tailoring tool, fletching, all of those. You'll make those items, and then you can actually make the actual table, right? So once you're in the 5 range, start gathering you some flax, and you can go in here and make straw to level 7. Real quick on this. So this first number, that's your current skill level in whatever this takes. So in carpentry, I'm at 30. And this basically turns green or trivial at level 7. So basically after level 7, I'm only going to get like 15, 20 XP a pop to a certain degree. And then it's going to become mastered. Once it's mastered, no more XP. But once you're trivial, it's a 100% chance of making it. And with mastered, I think it goes it kind of goes a little faster. So you're going to make straw to level 7. And then from there, we're going to step down and we're going to make sand from nice rocks, 10 nice, from 7 to 10, right? So you're just going to sit there and you're going to make sand and stuff. And you'll basically just be sitting here at this little stand, just, and you may fail some and you'll lose some rock, but just keep at it and you'll get to 10. If you have grace, you can, if you have grace, you can go to the crafting here and St. Thomas's Minor Blessing. That'll give you carpentry +1. So it'll make it a little bit easier to make things, and ease up on the success and stuff for you. So that can come in pretty handy. If you have the grace to burn. If not, just go on without it. It's just a little, it's like having a little step stool to reach a little fast, reach higher faster kind of thing. So once you're at 10 with carpentry, the next thing you're going to want to do is start gathering limestone, because you're going to graduate from sand from nice to sand from limestone. Now some people are going to cringe as soon as I say you're going to like burn limestone in the sand, because limestone is something that gets used in leather working. It's also going to be used in crafting, like making the limestone walls and stuff. But it's not that, I don't think it's that big of a thing. So for limestone, you'll be able to find it in your heartland valleys. There's some, like I know, so we're like right here. I know there's like probably 6 nodes right here. There's like 3 nodes here, and there's a few more scattered about and stuff. Um, Limestone is really prevalent in the drown lands, and that's these areas, kind of a yellowish, kind of sickly yellow green area. They look kind of like the scrublands, but a little different. So you're going to find a lot of limestone in these areas all around. The other area that I will mention that you can find limestone is in these areas of the pale. See, like the white trees. There's some here. Um, this location here, like this here. The problem with these areas is they're populated with some higher level mobs. Bears are going to be in there. They're going to have the little skull symbols, and spirits are going to be up there, and they will hurt you. And with the new death penalty, losing 20% of your stacks, or 20% out of your stacks, if you're out there and man, you're almost filled up your backpack, and then you wind up getting, you are not going to be happy about that, and you will definitely be sad pandaing it for a while. So keep that in mind. So if you look at the workbench, you're going to see we are going to run limestone up to 20. Um, it doesn't take a lot of limestone. I would say 2, maybe 3 backpacks of limestone will get you to from 10 to 20 easily. So you're only talking like 2 or 3 trips. So it's not really that long. I mean, my runs down to the drown lands, I could do a run in like 20 or 30 minutes pretty much and fill a backpack and back down. So you're talking like total, you know, 2 hours tops, and you'll be like level 20. So it's kind of insane. So once you hit the 20, then you're going to look at your wood chopping block, and this long fine wood stock is going to be your next best friend. It uses 5 heartwood. Now, unless you've like really been at it, like mining or chopping wood and stuff, and gotten um your wood chopping skills up really good, um, you're probably going to have to be going over into the scrublands, like these areas here, and hitting the hawthorn saplings. And they will give you about 8 or so sapwood, but 3 to 4 heartwood off of those. So you're gonna get some heartwood. I think I used maybe a stack or so. And you're gonna run the long fine wood stock from 20 to 23, and at 23, that's when ivy opens up on the carpenter's table. So then we're gonna hit the carpenter's workbench, and you're going to have the carpenter's workbench. The basic workbench will not have this recipe. So you're going to have to upgrade your carpenter's workbench. And that's going to require you to get some materials from other crafters to make this. Okay. So keep that in mind. So once we're at the carpenter's workbench, we're going to slide down here to ivy. So you've got arching ivy, tall climbing, large, small, and just regular climbing. All of those use 5 white grapes and 5 water. So you're going to have to go out and collect white grapes in the world. Those are going to be found in your pine forest areas. I used to find a lot around like where the Inquisition towers and ruins were in the pine forest. They're not so prevalent there now. I found them more out in the wildlands, in these patches of pine forest and stuff. And they'll be on the ground. They're very bright green. So you're going to want to get about a backpack full of grapes. And then you'll come back to your workbench. You'll take some grapes, you'll take some water, and you'll sit there and you'll crank out these ivies. And you will very quickly go from 23 to 30. So, and with that, you'll have the half timber walls, you'll have limestone um, building parts, and you'll have the granite building parts. Now, we'll say with granite, you're going to have a wrought iron pickaxe to even touch the stuff, and you will burn through pickaxes with that. It's very hard material. It's very durable, and you will cook some pickaxes trying to get granite. So keep that in mind. Um, if you want to go beyond 30, so you can get like the fine decorated like trim wood and stuff like that, you'll go back to your log workbench, and all that sand that you made, you're going to be using it to make lime mortar. And you'll need lime that you make from the charcoal kilns, and water and sand. And it's a really tedious process because you're going to go through a lot of sand and you're going to go through a lot of water. Um, and you'll have to go out and get more limestone to make your lime. So I think limestone out of the kiln is used. You use limestone and sapwood. So, um, but with that, you can basically with lime mortar, I think you can grind it all the way up to the max level for carpentry. So, and with that, you open up. We go back to my building stuff. You can see I have granite arch foundations. I have limestone window walls. I have all of my flagstone flooring, balustrades. Um, you have some fancy pieces, curved with beams and stuff. You're gonna have all your roof pieces, um, castellations, and stuff like that. So all of those will be available once you hit 30, right? So just a quick so you can see, whoops, let me take that off. You can see one of our clanmates, Tiven, he's got a limestone tower built over in the far corner there. He hit 32 in his carpentry yesterday, and he's got a mix of different materials going on here. He's got like uh, the wood roof. He's got a nice foundation. He's got the limestone walls on his tower. I think these are the hut. No, they're not the hut. What are those? Those are um they change names on stuff. Cottage. Those are the cottage walls. They use clay and wood, I believe, to make their stuff. I think. Let's look. Let's take a look over here. Cottage, yeah, wooden beams and clay. The half timber stuff are going to require bricks and fine wood beams. Um, so keep that in mind if you're planning on going that way. You're going to want to have um, some pottery kilns down and start chunking out bricks and stuff as fast as possible. So with that, that is your carpentry to 30. And beyond if you want to keep going with it. So, like I said, it's not something, if you're new to the game, that I think should be rushed. Take your time with it. One other thing I want to point out is that you're not going to be able to level the other skills, the other crafting skills, as fast as you did carpentry, because carpentry doesn't require as much XP to level as something like, say, blacksmithing. You can see, like, with my carpentry, I need 21,000 to go to 31. With my blacksmithing at 11, it's going to take me at least 12,000 to get to level 12. I think level 30 with blacksmithing, you're in the 100,000, couple 100,000 range. So keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to power level your other professions like you do carpentry. And I think that's by design. I think they want you to be able to build pretty stuff in the game. So they keep the carpentry kind of lower. Plus you need like boxes and stuff like this, because you're going to have, boxes everywhere. So keep that in mind. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do, throw me a subscribe. Check out the rest of my content that I've made through early access. Uh, Hopefully you'll like that stuff as well. And I'm hoping to put more stuff out. I usually live stream when the clan does events and stuff. We're doing a gate and portal run tonight to go hit a bunch of home valleys and stuff and get Petra locations for teleportation and stuff. So those are always fun. So we'll be streaming that. But otherwise, if you have questions, leave me a comment. on the video, or ask questions in game chat, uh, hit the official Discord. Uh, any of those places, you should be able to find what you're looking for. Um, and otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the game and be nice.